So most people think that you need millions and millions of dollars to get into real estate. But on today's vlog, I'm going to show you 3 properties that I've gotten with none of my own money and 1 property that I don't even own, and that cash flows for me. Stay tuned to the end of the video because I'm going to share some strategies on how you can do the same thing today. So here's a property that I got subject to. So basically what subject to entails is that I go to a distressed seller, which is somebody that is going through divorce, somebody that maybe can't afford their mortgage anymore. And I go to them and I pay them anywhere from $1,000, possibly even nothing, to obtain the deed and take over their mortgage payment. So I basically get into the property with no credit check and little to no money, which is a very good strategy to get into a somewhat flip or a house that's already ready and ready to get rented out. It's pretty bad inside. This house was left basically abandoned by the 2 people that owned it. Food in the fridge, they left clothes everywhere, all the furniture. And when I first came into this property, there was cockroaches walking around. We actually have pest control here right now, and they're going to clear out the place because they've already came 1 round and there's still cockroaches moving around here. Let's go inside and check it out. Pretty weird background on this house. We did have our junk removal guys in here and they were cleaning, and something that comes along with a lot of houses, very creepy a little bit, I guess people would say. Yeah, this is pretty much the house itself. It's pretty dirty, and I'm still debating whether I'm gonna do with it. Probably gonna keep it, turn around and do a co-living type of deal with it. Let's go to the next property and check it out. All right, so this property right behind me was a wholesale deal. So basically what a wholesale deal is that you don't have to own the property at all. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to put in your own cash or anything. So basically what it is just moving 2 pieces of paper across the table. I found this property off of Facebook, and I grabbed the seller and I told him, hey, I'll give you a cash offer. And so what I did was I had the A contract and I signed with him, and I turned it around and assigned it to a buyer, which is the B contract. Between that and as I made my assignment fee. So what an assignment fee is that you can stack on anywhere from 5, 10 grand to 20 grand. And I've also even heard of other investors even making 100 grand off these. So wholesale properties doesn't take any money at all whatsoever. It just takes some time. And I mean, just depending on whether you're gonna drive for dollars, you're gonna put out bandit signs like that one that I got there, or if you're going to, you know, maybe even do some marketing, you know, maybe some PPL, PPC. It's really just up to you, depending on how much capital you have right now to start. But wholesaling literally takes little to nothing. It just takes time and work. The next property I have is kind of similar to something that I walked in with no money. It actually has 2 units on there. It has a 3-2 in front and a 2-1 in the back. We'll go to that one first, and then we'll go to the Airbnb property and check that one out. This property wasn't originally going to be in the vlog, but I just wanted to bring it along anyways, because the way I got this property was through actually another investor that flips them, and he couldn't sell it. It was on the market for I think like maybe a year or a little more. So basically what I offered him is something called creative finance. So creative finance is basically something, it's just seller finance, owner finance, however you want to say it. You come in and you're like, hey, I'm going to stack on, and I think he had it at 290, 280, I think he was trying to sell it for. But originally he was trying to sell it for 320. Obviously that didn't happen on the open market, but I came to him and I was like, hey, I'll go ahead and take it at that 320 price if you allow me to come in with no money and no credit check. And he was like, cool, we'll do that. And we made it happen. We flipped this property very lightly on the inside because they hadn't touched the inside of this one. But we do have a 3-2 in the front. Can't go show you that one because we already have a tenant in that one. Pretty nice property. I think all I did was kind of paint in here, add a new fridge, add some new light fixtures. And then also I did a fence split on that side and that side. That's what creative finance is. And now onto the Airbnb. So this is one of my Airbnb properties. This will be the last property of the vlog. So basically how I got this property is using the arbitrage strategy. And what the arbitrage strategy entails is that you go to a landlord and you ask them if they would allow you to sublease their property. And once you get a yes, you furnish it and list it on Airbnb. Super great strategy. I don't own this property. I just lease it and I cash flow from whatever I make above the rent. So let's go ahead and check it out. So this is the inside. Basically the only thing I own is the furniture and that's it. So I believe I pay $2,200 on this property. Usually a cash flow anywhere from You know, on the low months, I could break even. That's just the reality of it. Most people will tell you that they're making all this money, but you know, some months I'll break even, maybe make $500 to $1,000, maybe even a little more than that, depending on the months. Other than that, it's a very good scalable strategy, very easy to stack properties. So once you do that and you learn how to, you know, I think if you find a landlord that has multiple properties and that builds them, that's what I found here, is you know, super great, super, you know, resourceful. So once you find that, it's kind of no ending. And that'll be it for today's vlog. So if you want to learn more in depth of these strategies that I was showing today, all you have to do is DM me on my social medias. They will be in the description below. Just DM me the word invest and I'll know that you came from YouTube, and you can get one-on-one coaching with my wife and I. That'll be it for today's video. I do have more video ideas coming up. I do have more deals coming up as well that I will be sharing on YouTube for y'all to learn more on how I get these properties, kind of take the day-to-day. Just stay tuned and see you on the next video.